In the start of the episode, we see Velafi getting 6 cans of juices mixed with drugs from Vutha. Velafi's growing addiction to Vutha juice took control of his life as he became desperate for his next fix. He lied to those closest to him, ignored his responsibilities, and betrayed their trust without realizing how deep he had fallen. His once bright and ambitious nature faded as he struggled to keep up with daily life, showing erratic behavior, mood swings, and secrecy that worried those around him. Nomsa noticed the drastic changes in Velafi and at first tried to dismiss her fears, but when she caught him sneaking out late at night, looking restless and agitated, she knew something was seriously wrong. Determined to uncover the truth, she started following him and keeping track of his movements. Her suspicions were confirmed when she discovered the person supplying Velafi with Vutha juice. It was someone she never expected, someone close to their family, someone who had taken advantage of Velafi's vulnerability and led him down this dangerous path. While Nomsa wrestled with the difficult choice of whether to confront Velafi directly or take action against his supplier, Chuma was dealing with his own battles at home. The revelation of Bulelani's involvement in drug dealing had left the Sokolu family in turmoil. Chuma, who had always been the protective and responsible one, felt the weight of his brother's betrayal heavier than ever. The family was still reeling from Bulelani's confession, emotions running high as they struggled to process the fact that someone they trusted had been living a dangerous double life. Some members of the family were furious, while others were simply heartbroken as they questioned whether Bulelani could ever be redeemed. Meanwhile, Rebs was making moves of her own, using the chaos around her to further her own plans. She had been manipulating Nolitha into believing that Kaya's marriage was on the verge of collapse, pushing her closer to making a decision that could change her life forever. Rebs thrived on control, and she saw this as the perfect opportunity to tighten her grip on Nolitha's choices, planting seeds of doubt and ensuring that she would rely on her more than ever. At the same time, Faraboy was growing uneasy as pressure mounted on him from the underworld. He was beginning to regret some of the choices he had made, realizing that the people he had gotten involved with were far more dangerous than he initially thought. But walking away was no longer an option. He had already crossed a line, and now he had to face the consequences. As Velafi continued to chase the high, he ignored the fact that his relationships were falling apart. The people who once cared for him were starting to distance themselves, unable to deal with the person he was becoming. His reckless actions were leading him to a breaking point where the consequences of his addiction were becoming unavoidable. By the time reality started catching up with him, Velafi found himself in a situation that could change his life forever. Those who had once defended him were now beginning to accept that if he did not realize the damage he was causing, he might never recover. His fate hung in the balance as the battle between addiction and redemption continued, leaving those around him wondering if he would wake up to the truth before it was too late.